Welcome or welcome back. Today we're looking at some exponent rules. So the exponent rules we will look at, I have on the side of the video. When your bases that are the same divide, your exponents will subtract. When your bases that are the same multiply, your exponents will add. Also, if you have anything with an exponent of 0, it automatically equals 1. Let's go ahead and look at some examples. So let's just start with a base of 10. Say I have 10 to the 5th power divided by 10 to the 4th power. Now, I know my rule, when my bases divide, my exponents will subtract, and I can just keep that base. Now, whatever is on the top will go first. 5 minus 4 is 1. And we also look at this as just 10. Since that exponent is telling me how many 10s I have just one 10. Okay, let's look at another example. Say I have 3 to the 8th power divided by 3 to the 4th power. My bases are the same, and they're dividing, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract the exponents. Remember that 8 goes first since that's on the top. And then I just subtract, which gives me 3 to the 4th power. That tells me I have 4 3s. So here's another little kind of tricky example, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because I can do that in a different video. But say I have 2 to the 5th power divided by 2 to the 7th power. Now again, I have to have that 5 go first. And then it would equal -2, which in a different video I'll go into more details about this. But what we can do is take the reciprocal because we don't want a negative exponent. But my point is, always have the top number go first. Now let's look at when our bases that are the same. It cannot work if our bases are not the same. If they multiply, our exponents add. I'm going to start off with a base of 10 example again. Say I have 10 to the 3rd times 10 to the 2nd. I would just keep in the habit of doing the first number first, so 3 plus 2, which gives me 5, so I would have 10 to the 5th power. Now, if you did 2 plus 3, you'll still get the same answer, but just to help your brain stay organized, I would just keep with the same rule that we do with subtracting so that we don't get confused. Let's look with a different base. Say I have 4 to the 3rd power times 4 to the 1st power. And that can also be written like this. 4 to the 3rd power times 4, because this is 1, 4. And a 1 exponent tells me I have 1, 4, so I can write it either way. That still is going to look like 3 plus 1, which equals 4. So my final answer would be 4 to the 4th power. And then real quick, if I have anything to the 0th power, it equals 1. I just want you to remember that. Again, I can go into more detail in a different video on that. Now that we know our basic exponent rules, we're going to use them to simplify this problem. Now this problem looks a little complicated, but let's just break it down to what we know, and it will be easy peasy. So I know when I have the same bases, I've got a couple 3s and a couple 2s. So let me see what the 3s are doing. The 3s are dividing, and I know when I divide, my exponents subtract. So I'm going to write that before I forget. Now I'm going to have my fraction bar, my division bar still, because I don't see any other 4s, so that's just going to stay right there. Now I look at my 2s. I know when my bases are the same and they multiply, my exponents add. So I'm going to add my exponents. Now I put this multiplication symbol here because it's right here. So I have to transfer it over. Now I'm going to just go ahead and do what the problem tells me to do. 6 minus 3 is 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. and then that 4 just stays right there. So, easy peasy lemon squeezy, because I just break it down to what I already know. Quick reminder of our exponent rules. When your bases are the same and they divide, subtract your exponents. When your bases are the same and they multiply, add your exponents. Anything with an exponent of 0 equals 1. Now, when you're simplifying a complicated problem, just remember these steps and you'll be good to go. See you in the next video.